So the Apple Vision Pro's having problems. Who'd have guessed? $3,600, and surprisingly, not a lot of people want to buy it. So I was reading an article today, and it looks like Apple is massively cutting back on their production for this year, citing, well, quite frankly, people just don't want to pay for them. And that's a very understandable proposition. I don't recommend 99% of the population go buy one. But also, interestingly, it looks like there was supposed to be a more budget oriented Apple Vision Pro that I am calling the Apple Vision Pro SE because that's what Apple calls them. You get the Apple Watch SE. You get the iPhone, you get the iPhone SE. I'm surprised we don't have a MacBook SE yet. If they didn't already call it the Air, or I don't know, maybe we'll get an iPad SE at some point. But there was supposed to be apparently a SE version of the Apple Vision Pro that costs less. I don't know what they would take out of it because I think you need most of the things that are in there, but it would have been interesting to see if that happens. I hadn't even heard anything about it until all these reports about it's not performing well, they're cutting back on it, and it looks like whatever budget version was going to happen probably isn't going to happen. And honestly, I think they should cut the production on the regular one and go ahead and make the budget one, because the budget one's what's going to save them. Because people don't want to spend $4,000. I mean, $3,600 plus tax, or $3,599 plus tax. That's a lot of stinking money. I mean, here in Texas, well, I'm actually in Seattle right now. So if you've never seen Seattle, this blown out video behind me is part of the Seattle skyline. Let me know if y'all want to vlog. I actually got done just shooting a Chicago vlog I'm going to put out in a couple of days. But anyway, so yeah, back in Texas, 8.25% sales tax plus $3,600. That's $4,000 for the 128 gigabyte model. Or is it 128? No, 256. Sorry, starts at 256. And I think that's a little on the unacceptable side. I mean, I thought for sure it would start with 512, maybe a terabyte, just because with what you want to do on the platform, you can't add any storage. It's the first generation model. We don't know where things are going with this. And if we get into like spatial video and things like that, not exactly the smallest file sizes. So I actually had hope that they would create a cheaper model. I thought it was farther off. I thought they would run the full production model, maybe the next year give us a cheaper model, and then maybe the third year might get a new Apple Vision Pro. This clearly isn't a product people are going to be buying year over year. I mean, it's ridiculous enough that some people would spend $1,200, $1,300 to buy a new phone every year. But then when you add on top of that a $4,000 headset, probably gonna have a limited scope of people that would be even interested in buying one every 2 or 3 years. So it's very interesting, and I don't have mine with me. And if that tells you how important this is to me, that should give you a good clue. I went on a vacation here. Me and my best friend were touring the northwest part of the United States. Yeah, he's waving in the background. We both turned 40 back in January. We've been friends for like 38 years. So when we turned 20, we went to Tokyo. Now that we're 40, we went to Chicago, took a train all the way out here to Seattle. We're going to do some sightseeing here and then go to Vegas. But I didn't even bring my Vision Pro. Why? Because it's really not that important. Honestly, it's more of an encumbrance than it is anything that I would even be willing to use. Plus, on the train, there's no Wi-Fi. The signal can be spotty. And there's just not a whole lot to do with it. I mean, it's cool if you want to watch some videos. I do enjoy watching videos on it at night. If you can get around moving your hands and it impacts one of the sensors, and then it comes up and it shuts off your video and tells you not to block the sensors. But overall, I've clocked a lot of hours on it. I bought it. I thought it was cool. I mean, it's still one of the most impressive pieces of technology that I've ever experienced. You put it on, it looks magnificent. And then we're still waiting on some of these 3D immersive environments since it came out saying coming soon. So I don't know what's going on the developer side of the house, but I think maybe some of this stuff might be curtailed a little bit, because if you look at the reports initially, and I think they tried to pull a fast one on us. Apple likes to manufacture demand. So when they first came out, the estimates were like, oh, we're probably going to have 45 to 55,000 units available on launch. And then that turned out to be like 200,000. Actually, I think the initial ones were like 200 to 400,000. So I think right now, I think the estimated production is supposed to be about in the 750,000 target range, and they're cutting that back because they had the initial demand and then the initial returns. If you want to remember the tech drama that surrounded that, I did not buy one and return it. I didn't even buy one when it first came out because I didn't want to make any hype videos. I wasn't planning on returning it, and I just don't care that much. But it's interesting to me because I do like this stuff. I mean, I make videos about tech for a reason. It's not just because I want to make videos, but it's because I enjoy a lot of tech things: phones, watches, tablets, Vision Pros. I mean, I've even got the Quest 3 at home. So I think there's a place for it. And I've said this from the get go. I think Apple needed to go ahead and take this one on the chin to try and make this more mainstream, build the idea of spatial computing out there, premium level immersive technology. I think it's cool, but it's got to start somewhere. Just like when we had the first 4K TVs, we had the first plasma TVs. I was the idiot at Best Buy spending $3,000 on a 42-inch plasma TV that didn't even have 720p. So I've done a lot of that stuff. But when it comes to this one, I think it's cool, and I think it's novel, and I think it's interesting, and I think for people who are willing to wait it out for the platform to really add a lot more stuff that you can do, then I think it'll probably be worth it. But the problem is, one, well, I think it's three problems really. One is too expensive. Two, people saw that people were buying them and then returning them because they weren't that great. And then three, once you got past the first wave of people that were willing to adopt it, there's just not a secondary line of people ready to buy them. It's not like when you go to the kiosk at McDonald's and you've got three people waiting to get a Big Mac behind you. There was a line of one to buy one of these, and then poof, there's no more demand. So I think Apple's having to rethink the strategy. But I really, if they actually were going to put out a Apple Vision Pro SE this year, I think that would have been probably the best thing, because if you can get that second line of people who are going to pay $2,000 or $2,500 instead of $3,500, then that's going to get you more money invested. It's going to have more people wearing headsets, and it's going to have more incentive for Apple and for developers to start making cool stuff to do with these things. We're still missing really a lot of cool applicable things that you can do with it. Yes, you can use it for your computer, but I find that it's better to just use my computer. I can look at my screen and it pops up here, but then I got to type on the keyboard down here. This whole look with your eyes and tap thing and reach out and touch the screen, like there. Normally when you have different methods of technology that come out, there's ideally, if it's supposed to replace something, it's supposed to do it better than what it used to do, like the keyboard, right? If you're going to have something that replaces a keyboard, darn well you should be able to use it as good as a keyboard. But it doesn't, and you still have to use a keyboard. So, and it doesn't even interface with the iPhone. It's so stupid to me that you can look down at your MacBook and the screen pops up, but if you look at your phone, like, it doesn't do anything. And most people use their phone a lot more than their computer. So I think that there's a lot of things they need to work out to make this a better platform. But yeah, if they were going to make a budget SE version and they're killing that off, I think that would be the one they should have actually kept around, because that's what I think the next step in this is to find a way to get people who weren't willing to pay $4,000, trying to find a way to get them to pay $2,000. But the technology will get cheaper. It will get cheaper. It will get better. The prices will come down. We're just at the early stages of this stuff. And when you look at the competitors on the market, it's $500 Quest 3 or $4,000 Apple Vision Pro. So anyway, that's a news topic for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the different backdrop. But yeah, if you got an Apple Vision Pro, sound off in the comments. I'm sure 2 of y'all did, maybe 1, other than me, because I'm a giant sucker. But yeah, I go like a week without using mine. It's really not that great. It's cool, it's neat, it's novel, it's fun. Not worth what I paid for it, and it just doesn't do all that much stuff that I find valuable yet. So anyway, that's all I got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comments section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.